Moving on, we'd now like to present you a special address with an international outlook, and to present the same, may I please invite on stage Mr. Javier Quintana once again, the Director of IDOM UK and the former Dean of IE School of Architecture and Design. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as he joins us on stage.
Good evening. Good evening to all of you. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you to all the team of the Economic Times. Thank you for all the words that I've heard this evening and all the ideas and images and good advice that I got throughout the whole day, because we've been here since 9 in the morning, some of us at least, in company of students. I truly would like to say that it's been great for me to share these hours with you, and I really would like to thank, as I said, to the Economic Times, the team that we've been working for these last weeks, and I especially would like to say thank you to Dikshu Kukreja, who's the one that passed along the name or my name to this team, and it's been a pleasure. You have been such an open door, not only here, but to India, and I really wanted to thank you for this in public. When discussing what could I talk about in this evening, and having been with students during the whole day, we decided that it could be good that having the chance to have a group of them that will be awarded tonight, I could try to make a few reflections of what the life of a student is supposed to evolve from now on, or which are the future trends on education. But also I wanted to share this concepts with a professional perspective, being the case that many of the people in the audience are professionals. I am here because I'm someone who is a practitioner, but also someone who has great passion and motivation for education. I've been involved in academia for more than 20 years now. And whatever I have to say comes from that blended life, kind of. The first thing is that for the students, I would like to say that being student is getting something different. And what I mean by this is that the professional world and education is intersecting more and more. I think that probably most of you who are architects that have companies, when you get the CVs from the students, you look for experience, 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 experience. And at the same time, the educators are obsessed with giving experience, or opportunities to the students to have a touch of what or a taste of what professional life should be. And well, this is something that is more and more the future. We're evolving from an academic situation which was about the dream of what you can design in a very specific context, which is the one of university. And we're evolving to a situation in which students are forced to think what this should be the right, or which should be the right way to do this when confronted with reality. I don't know if this is good or bad, but it is happening. And in a way, I don't know, it's like, if I reflect when, you know, being a teenager, you know, years ago was supposed to start when you're 15. Now, literally starts when you're 9 or something, before the teens. This is happening a little bit in education, and well, that's one of the things that I think is happening at this point. I insist again, I don't know if it's good or bad, but they should reflect students that they have a very unique opportunity to be in university, to dream. Their advisors, their professors are helping them to, to push their skills. But at the same time, there's a pressing world of professionals asking them to deliver, even when they are students through internships, well, when they have their gap year and that is something that is, is more and more happening. That would be one of the first reflections about how the world of the student is changing. The second one is that life is becoming global, or the effect of globalization. So when a student starts, creating a strategy for him or herself, there is not only a consideration about the content or the institution, but also the place. And this is becoming more and more important, that education happens in different places, and usually they are not so close to each other anymore. And again, there are, let's say, not local path, doesn't have to be always international, but most of the times it's international, has, a relevance in what you're doing. This will happen again when you become a professional. Professional life is becoming more and more the consequence of being in a global world, or the world that is the consequence of globalization. I mean, just our former speaker was talking about cities, situations that came from all over the place, and about a situation that in one day you can get the information that, in other decades would have, costed a lot more time to get. You are facing a future that is about internationalization. You are facing not only your education time, but your professional time as an international person, and you have to think what you want to do with that. But at the same time, I think that being an architect is not the same anymore. In so far, I think that the understanding of the profession has been pretty monochrome. We all have been educated in a way that we are designers, we have our companies, and then we design buildings. There comes a time in which within that window there's no work for all of us, because the world is also doing different things, and also because it's giving a lot of opportunities to understand the way designers could act, and among the designers, the architects. I was referring today in a workshop that I gave on entrepreneurship to the students, that I have this idea I like to think about the architects about people that get inputs from a lot of fields when they are in their educational period. And most architects are like starfish, with people, a lot of potentials in many directions. I said that I think at this point that figure or that metaphor of the starfish is not valid anymore. I think the one that could be more valid at this point is the one of the octopus. That the one that we, with those potentials, with those skills that we have, we can do much more. And so going back to this idea of being an architect is not the same anymore. I honestly think that this new generation of people, this new generation of students, which is you at this point, will have many other chances to practice architecture, maybe helping architects to resolve many of their gaps, servicing architects because they have so many needs that they cannot cover themselves, consulting to architects instead of architects, asking for other types of consultants that not within the profession. I don't know, this is just an idea, but this is happening at this point in the global world of professional architecture. Finally, I think we are a lot aware of this. I think the world is becoming more complex. The issues that architects are dealing with are more complex. The speed of urbanization, the requirements of not only legal, but the norms that we have to deal with, the client's speed, the time frame in which things are supposed to be done are getting more and more difficult. But also, buildings and on the ambition of men trying to make them better is asking for something that goes beyond not only architecture and design, but, connections to other professionals. So you are heading to a world that is more complex. It's about collaboration with other professionals. Think about that. We again come in this idea of tradition and modernity. I think that the modern understanding of architecture, it's really about going a little bit beyond the borders of what the architects have been up to now. Well, finally, I was talking today also about this idea of please think in terms of 5 years what you want to do with your life, with your professional life, with your student life in the next 5 years. And if I could recommend something is, start every 5 years from the beginning, go back to zero, be a bit Socratic in that way, like acknowledging that I've learned a lot, but at the end I only know that I know nothing. So if I could say something, once you finish your degree, really have this attitude, motivational attitude that you're starting from zero. My congratulations to all of you, for the ones that will be getting the award tonight, and thank you for being here. Thank you very much.